Hi, I'm Juliana. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. So today we are here to talk about Under a Dancing Star by Laura Wood. So I posted some things about me reading this book, or trying to at least. We'll get there on Instagram. And well, I read till chapter 14, and then I just skimmed and go through the book straight to the end to see how it ended. And yeah, predictable, but that's my fault because I had this book with high expectations in terms of entertainment, and is not saying that this book isn't, but I think that, as I said before, I think this is more middle grade, and I'm supposing, yes, I didn't look for it, sorry, because I didn't care enough. Sorry again. Basically, we have here Bia, our main character, a young woman. We are in the 1930s England, and her parents want her, to get married and so on, to have a way of be well established in life. And for women, we know that would come through marriage. Well, they sent her away, their parents sent her away to pass the summer with an uncle of hers in Italy. But the thing is, this uncle is a bit bohemian. At the time that Bia arrives to Italy, she gets to know this young man called Ben that goes get her, and they have a whole situation right at the beginning of the novel that I thought, really, are we starting this right now? Like, it's a bit cliche, but I suppose, again, it's my fault because this book is not really targeted for my age. I'm not saying that you can't read it. Everyone can read any type of book, yes. But for me, it didn't really work, and that's why I skimmed it at the end. Just to sum it up, they kind of have a relationship, light one, we have good manners here, and kidding. And, she passes the summer in Italy, she has her experience, you know what I mean? And then comes the war, and they, at the end, if you don't want to know, I'm spoiling the thing. So at the end, they meet each other again, and it's like a glimpse of a future together, but we never know what comes after that. Ben and Bia, so some things that I thought that were interesting in this book were the topics about art, because the uncle of Bia that is in Italy and with whom she's going to be with, or at least at his house, is with someone, at the time a woman that is a sculpturist, sculptist? I don't know, sorry. Works with stone, makes sculptures. I don't know. Her name is Philomena, and she will kind of be her Cupid, in a way, making things happen for Bia and Ben, you know what I mean? This is a light novel, okay? Don't get excited. So, kind of platonic, because then the war happens, and we have an interval there, and well, something that I found curious and a glimpse of a good theme to drive this novel in particular, of course, of course, it wasn't the objective of Laura Wood for this kind of novel. That's obvious. But, it had potential for me and my taste. I'm talking about Juliana now. So, because Bia is really rational and really curious, and she gives importance to science. In Italy, with Filomena and Ben and so on, they present to Bia other people that are artists in terms of arts or in terms of painting. For you to know, Ben is a painter, but she meets other people like another girl that is more of the art of literature, and her brother, I think, that is also a painter or somewhat something. And they have a night where they are having dinner, and they start a conversation that was so interesting. But it ended up being so short. But that was the thing that most excited me, because I thought the author would take advantage of that themes that were occurring in that conversation and move the story with those things. So I will start in here. So this is Bia thinking or narrating. I bite into a tomato so sweet and ripe that you can eat it like an apple. The juice runs down my fingers, leaving me sticky and gleeful as a small child. By the time we finish eating, the sky is a blanket of stars, and I can't shake the feeling that this is all some wonderful dream. Some of this must show in my face, because Filomena's eyes light on me. What is it that makes you look like that, Bia? She asks. You are like Saint Cecilia in ecstasy. The others chuckle. I don't understand the reference, but the sentiment is clear enough. It's just so beautiful, I try to find the words. Sitting underneath the bougainvillea and all the stars, eating this food and being with you. It's almost too much. If I wasn't seeing it myself, I wouldn't believe such a place was real. Claus nods, another character. I understand, he says. It is why it is the perfect place to make art. It is a thrill, yes, for all the senses, as if you are seeing everything in brighter colors. He is right, of course, and for a second I catch a glimpse of what it might be like to be an artist, just a little of what they are doing here, and the feeling is delicious. Another passage. Like Ben's painting, Claus contains shapes and colors that are unlike anything I've seen before. There's certainly a world away from the paintings we had in Langton Hall before they were all sold. Claus and Ben's work is abstract. They tell me they're interested in modernity, energy, movement. I don't really understand the art they are creating, but I understand the restless feeling they describe. Ursula is a playwright and poet. She talks about a man called Brecht, who seems to be something of a mentor to her. I have not heard of him, but when she mentions the man, the others look almost reverent, and from the way they talk, I gather this is a great honor. His name has a kind of solid weightiness about it. In their midst, I feel my own ignorance about the arts very keenly, and I listen, trying to take it in, enjoying as ever the experience of learning about something new. And I must admit, this is a very different thing to learning from the books in Langton Hall, draughty library. But why is it, I ask them one night as we sit lingering over the remnants of another delicious meal, that you're painting like this, writing like this now. And now is in italic. There is a pause as they consider the question. I suppose it's partly because of the war, Ben says, swirling his drink around in his glass, staring into it with a frown as though there is an answer there. Afterwards, there was what they called the return to order, a sort of need for familiarity after all that trauma, all that he trails off uncomfortably. We are all too young to remember much of the war, but still it hangs over us, over everyone. Return to order, I repeat thoughtfully. Ben nods. So more familiar, you know. He places his glass down on the table, and his hands move animatedly as he talks. More objective, I suppose. Safer to keep things at a distance. But now Claus picks up the thread of Ben's conversation. Artists like Matisse and Picasso are embracing the abstract again. It's as though there has been a falling away of tradition, making space for something new and different, something vital, completely of this moment. Yes, Ben agrees, focusing on today, not shackled to the past. It's like the metamorphosis of the mayfly, I say thoughtfully. So this is Bia. They spend their whole lives in the water preparing for a single day of dancing in the sun. Everyone looks at me with interest, so I expand. The Latin name is ephemeroptera, I say. It's from the Greek epi and emera, meaning to live for a day. Ephemeral, Ursula's smoky voice joins in, something fleeting. Exactly, I say. I have always dismissed painting and writing as being quite frivolous compared to the thrill of scientific discovery, which could change lives. But somehow, listening to these people talk with passion and excitement, I wonder whether I have been missing out on something after all. I never expected that I could find art so interesting, I say. Bia again. There's not much in this world that is more of interest, if you ask me. Ben lunges back in his chair with an air of satisfied certainty. Well, science, I point out. Science. Ben's eyes glitter in the candlelight. Cold, impersonal, fact-gathering. His tone is dismissive. Biology is the study of life. I lean forward, gripping the arms of my chair. It's about finding our place in the universe, unraveling the mysteries of nature. How could something so intricate and beautiful possibly be cold? I ask. Science examines what it means to be alive. For a moment my words hang in the air, and Ursula exhales a slow stream of cigarette smoke, a glimmer of something that looks like respect in her eyes. I'm surprised by her response, by them all, how curious they are and the attentive way that they listen. So this is a glimpse of what really was the potential in this book for me. This unraveling of interest in the arts by Bia that has such a scientific mind and so literal and fact check, and well, she sees beauty as well in science, but in a different kind of way, as I mentioned, or as you heard me read. She dismisses the arts like literature, painting, sculpture, because she thought us frivolous, as something superficial, not of such an importance, a science. But her stay here in Italy and the contact that she has with these people turn her ideas around, and she gives a 180 tour, So that was the potential that I saw in this book. But that, of course, wasn't the trail that the author went through or went in. And now you get my point. I'm not going, as I didn't read it all, I'm not going to stay in here talking about the story and what it did and not do and whatever. You get the point. It's more a romantic, light love story and with a hopeful ending, and but stuff that, like, I don't know, I didn't enjoy was the way that Ben and Bia talk to each other. Like, it wasn't offensive or anything. That's not my point. But it was so cringe. Like, stuff like, but this is Bia talking. But actually, yes, I think that your refusal to accept my apology and to move on graciously is ungentlemanly. There's a pause as Ben seems to consider this argument for a moment. Finally, he shrugs. Well, I think it's a bit rich being schooled in social niceties by a girl who chases down bandits and assaults her would-be rescuers. I feel a smile tugging at my mouth. Oh, but that girl sounds so much more interesting than a swooning maiden. And Ben goes, she sounds like a pain in the neck to me. And I can't imagine you're much a swooner. And Bia goes, I can't imagine you'll ever find out. And Ben goes, oh, really? Something mischievous glints in his eyes, and he takes a step towards me, and then another. That sounds like a challenge. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't know. This is Juliana again. My taste, okay, my personal taste. I don't really enjoy this type of interactions. I don't know what to say. I simply didn't enjoy really this type of interaction. Although it sounds corny. You know what I mean? I don't know. It wasn't for me. But the parts that I read to you really excited me. And if the author made another book just talking about the conversation that I read to you, I would really, really, really read that book till the end. But it wasn't the case. It really revolves around Bia and Ben and her experience in Italy, but really about them too. So, sorry, but no. I know this was a book for the 12 months, 12 books for 12 months of 2024, 23? I don't know. But yes, if you're new to my channel, I don't really achieve my promises. Sorry. Moving forward, I'm really sorry that my opinion wasn't that positive. Not because, again, it wasn't because of the fault of the author or the book, or because the book wasn't well written or anything like that. It's just, I'm in a point in life, or at least in my reading life, that I'm trying to go for another type of content, or maybe depth in my readings. I like to be entertained, yes, but for the reasons that I try to expose here, with this one it didn't happen. So I skimmed it after chapter 14, and then I just read the end again. I'm repeating myself. So yeah, I will stay here. I don't have anything more to add. I hope that for the things that I read to you, you get the point of this book, and if is something that interests you or poke your interest, please don't be shy to pick a copy of this book. So the author is Laura Wood, so please try it if you want to, if you think it's for you. And yeah, I don't have anything more to say. That's it. Sorry guys, I really didn't want for this to happen, because I really was excited for this one. But well, I picked this, and I see you on the next time. Bye.